Hello, this is RICKY, the Android guy. Alright guys, so today I'm going to be bringing you a segment called Android Cast. Now, on Android Cast, I'm going to be just sharing my opinions and insights on certain topics. So today's topic is going to be the Samsung versus Apple trial. Now, the reason why I really felt this one should be my first one I talk about is simply because a lot of people have been misinformed on this trial and a lot of people don't know exactly what's going on. So I wanted to clarify a couple of things. So the very first thing is that, yes, Apple won the first part of the trial, and what that means is that they are set to be awarded $1 billion, and recently they just wanted to add $700 million to that as well upon further damages and everything like that. This will not be heard till December 6th. Now, the reason why this is important is because anything that adds on to this, like items being banned, will not be dealt with till then. So that's one thing. None of this will be decided till December 6th. Now, a couple of other things. One of the main things that people do not realize is that the Samsung Galaxy S3 is not a part of this trial. Neither is the Galaxy Note, or neither is any current tablet out on the market. The the newest device that was on this trial was the Galaxy S2. So that is the newest device that was a part of this trial. So just letting you guys know, a lot of people were confused by, oh, well, that the Galaxy S3 might be taken off shelves. No, it has nothing to do with this trial. Now, Apple has tried to add newer devices to the trial. The problem with that is that those devices will have Jelly Bean by the time, and with that, they're going to have updates already so that all of the features in the trial that were found won't be applicable to the new devices. So it will be moot. They can't get rid of the new devices. So that's a very important thing to let anyone that's like talking trash or like that doesn't know about the trial know that they actually do not have, they won't have a chance to ban the Galaxy S3 and newer devices. So I wanted to point that out. And now I wanted to point out what they actually won with the trial. So first of all the physical stuff like copying and everything like that that they accused Samsung of was all thrown out. None of the physical was made plausible, was made to be correct. So it was actually two software things that they said that they agreed with. And the two software things that they say that Samsung infringed upon that Apple owns patents on is one, the bouncing effect. When you scroll all the way up or all the way down on a web browser and the fact that it bounces, that is one patent that Apple owns that they're saying Samsung's web browser infringed upon. So that was awarded to them. The other one that they won was the pinch to zoom patent. However, it is not the typical pinch to zoom we normally think of. The pinch to zoom that Apple owns on their patent is this: that when you touch a screen, you hold with one button, and the other key can scroll up and down. That is the patent that Apple owns. Of course, when we use a phone, we just scroll with one hand. So even if they got rid of that, no one cares. But that is the pinch to zoom. Apple could not win like a typical pinch to zoom one because that technology was out beforehand. Now, the reason they won this was because Samsung had preliminary stuff that showed that, even those patents were faulty, but the judge would not allow it to be entered. Now, the reason why this is important is because this, of course, is going to an appeals court, meaning that Samsung will get to appeal it and then in the new trial bring forward the evidence that wasn't able to, which I never understood. I mean, the judge was, there was a lot of rumors that, she was bought out by Apple, which I wouldn't be surprised just because of her judgments, I mean, the law is supposed to be based on other precedents that were held, which every other precedent around the world has granted Samsung a victory over Apple when they've been defending themselves on these same exact patents and these same exact things. and they were awarded a win, whereas this judge didn't even want to let them do these kind of things as evidence. It's as if there was a murder trial and someone said, "Oh, I know it's late in evidence, but we have recently found evidence that shows this is the gun that killed the person." No, you can't enter that in the trial. That's pretty much what happened. So it's really it's yeah. I don't think the judge was being fair. Um, to be honest, it seemed like she was kind of in with Apple, but that's obviously a big accusation, and she was unfair to Apple at times, so you can't completely say she was unbiased, but it seemed like she was a lot harder on Samsung. Furthermore, in terms of the trial, it's estimated that Apple won't even get paid if they do win till 2 years from now, if that. The reason is now the amount could go up because the longer the trial goes, the higher the amount will go if Apple does eventually win. So it's estimated that Apple could win up to $3 billion, if this goes on for 2 years. But the problem with that is, again, is that, Samsung will appeal, Apple will appeal, and this will kind of keep going back and forth until it probably goes to the Supreme Court. And that's just what eventually will probably happen. But it's just a lot of clarification that I wanted to give, that they were awarded on software patents. Even the tablet that was originally banned in the injunction by the judge was the jury found that it wasn't infringed upon. The original tablet from Samsung, the 10-inch tablet, the Tab 10.1, did not infringe on the iPad's design, and that was actually found by the jury. Now the judge was kind of again showing unbiased to Samsung and said, "Oh well, I'm not going to lift this unbanning till December 6th because you guys, didn't like my judgment and went straight for appeals court." Well, duh, that's just what you do in law. You go for appeals court if you don't like the judgment. I mean, that's just common sense. Now, Samsung is going to try to just negate the judgment altogether before going to appeals court on December 6th when the two companies meet again. So this is all of the relevant news and updates on the trial. Basically, physical-wise, I think they were awarded one patent, but it wasn't basically anything big like that. Like the devices had to be taken off, and so it was mainly software. Because of it's only software, it's really going to be found that that's what's going to happen. Also, this is a one-time penalty. One thing that's important to note, Apple cannot keep getting money from Samsung. It would be a one-time payment, which I know like $1 billion might seem like a lot, but Apple has paid Samsung $10 billion already this year for the parts that they've made for them. So although $1 billion might seem like a lot to us, compared to Samsung and Apple, $1 billion's like a 10% discount on the parts that they owe. It's so Apple buys a lot from Samsung, so they've literally paid them more than enough to pay them back. Of course, no one wants to be out $1 billion, but again, just a kind of knowing about this trial is a lot of what has been misleading through a lot of he said, she said that I've seen when I've talked to people about it, and a lot of people still think the Galaxy S3 is in danger, which it's irrelevant to it. Alright guys, so that's everything you should know about the Samsung and Apple trial. Again, these are more my opinions than just facts that I've read. So, hope you guys liked it. This has been Android Cast, and if you have any of your own opinions, feel free to leave them down below. Thank you for watching.